Hey, this is Sasha, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Stocks. And in today's episode, we're going to take a look at skill versus the art of trading. So combining skill and art or creativity within your trades and how really that applies as you're going on and putting on trades, managing trades, and looking to set up a position. So we're going to cover three main points. What is a skill when it comes to trading? What is the art when it comes to trading? And then combining skill and art for trading. So let's take a look at this and break this down as we look at skill versus art and understand what it is all about. So first, I want to share with you a quick little tennis story back when I was learning to play tennis. And typically what a skill is a skill is something you're born with or something you grow and develop. Now, I wasn't born with the skill of playing tennis, but I grew it, right? So what I did was I ended up playing tennis, you're practicing with tennis, and you grow that skill. Now, eventually, as you become better, as you know, there's different types of tennis players. There's different styles of tennis. So for me, for example, I enjoyed hitting long balls from the back baseline. So I enjoyed, nice deep swings. For other people, they enjoyed coming to the net and getting closer. So they were more into hitting those quick short shots or volleying very quickly. So everybody's a little bit different when it comes to their creative side. You might have 10 different players where, they all have the skill to hit it from the back or the baseline. And you might have those same 10 players that are also very good also at the net or very close to the net. And then you have the creative side where, somebody at the net that really just loves powering it at the net and loves to play those kinds of shots. And other people, they may finesse things. They may do quick little drop shots, or they may do some things with some creative spins. So that's being a little more creative on how you approach the game. So that's really what it comes down to when it comes to trading. So looking at it is the same thing. Well, what is skill when we look at trading? Well, when you look at trading, investing, the skill part of it is looking to develop your understanding in how to place a trade. So say, for example, you know nothing about the trading panel. Well, you need to get that skill to be able to place the trade in the trading panel. So let's just say, hey, here's my trading panel, here's my platform, here's my stocks, here's my orders, and then you got this big button for the order or go and execute kind of thing. So a skill is knowing how to do that because you're not born with that. So you grow that, you learn that, and now you have a skill to be able to do that. Now the art behind that is being more creative with it. So now when we look at art, it's being able to finesse those things. And that may be something like, hey, I go ahead and use shortcut keys on my keyboard. Or I go ahead and use multiple monitors to be able to manipulate my trade windows. And now I'm being more artistic with my trading. Now that's just the baseline of executing a trade, but you have many different things in terms of trading when it comes to, let's say, a skill versus the art, right? So there's a lot of variations to it. So a skill, again, if we look at it, it's something that you grow and develop, right? Whereas the art is how you do it that's different. And this is really what you're getting at, is a combination of both of these as we combine skill and art, is they start to overlap. And this in the center is what creates kind of you and your style. And that's what you're getting at, is when you start composing your own style, that's where independent trading happens. Because initially what you do is you get some skill, you acquire it maybe by looking at other people, and then you try to apply it, but you start getting a little creative with it, but you don't go too far outside the box. Then eventually you start seeing other things and you get a little more knowledge and you see how people are doing it. And finally, when you have full creativity, like you could see that with an artist where he knows, he has total skill. He's developed those almost to the max, but now he gets very creative with those and how he approaches it. So as a stock is, let's say, breaking down, you could be creative in the part of some people may want to go ahead and add to the position. They may want to go ahead and hedge it with a put, or they may add some calls, or they may sell verticals on one side or the other. Now, if you don't know what verticals are or options are, well, in that case, you don't have the skill yet. So you're growing and you're developing the skill. And with time as that grows, your creativity side will kind of grow as well. So you're mixing this combination of growth, of skill, and being creative a little side by side. But if you don't have the skill, it's tough to be creative unless you're just a person who's full of freedom. And in that case, you might do a lot of creative things, but they may not end up working out very well. So this is why having a little bit of skill gives you a little bit of creativity. As you get a little more and more skill, you'll become a little more creative, or you'll be able to be more creative. Now, with some people, they don't want to go outside of that range in creativity. They want to kind of stay in the box, and that may be okay if you're consistent in your trading and you're happy with where you're at, and maybe you don't want to develop those things further. But in general, as skill grows, you may get a little more creative to experiment with the things that work for you and the things that don't work for you. So ultimately, skill is something that you're either born with or you're growing, and art is something that you're being more creative with on the trading side. So as you're looking to grow things, grow your knowledge, grow your education, grow your wisdom, you're slowly developing this. And as you get more creative with it, that allows you to really construct your own kind of style right here and strategy, which makes this very unique to you personally. I hope this makes a little more sense as far as skill and being artistic or creative when it comes to your trade. You kind of need a little bit of both. If you have skill and you just constantly keep developing your skill, well, then you might be very linear in your approach when you put on a trade or when you're managing a trade, which on one hand could be okay if you want to trade like a robot, but humans typically don't do that. We then go to being a little more creative, but having too much creativity without having the skill when you're fully creative could put you in a few wrong directions or paths. So combining these things a little bit of skill, grow that aspect, a little bit of creativity, and now you start compositing these things, making it your own, creating your own style for your trading. So that's really how you do it as far as creating your own style and what works for you within your trades. Thanks so much for joining me in this lesson, and this lesson is very similar to a lot of the lessons that I cover in my upcoming book, Mindsets of a Master Trader, which by all means, make sure you get on the newsletter list so you know when it's coming out. It's coming out later on towards the end of the year, so don't worry, you haven't missed it. Now, if you're not on the newsletter list, get on it, but if you just want to hang out on YouTube, by all means, that's fine. You can go ahead and, watch all kinds of funny videos or music videos if you want, but if you want to get some education on stock trading, investing, then go ahead, hit the subscribe button right here on my face. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time.